Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So here's the thing. Normally, I don't tend to watch, Brock TV's reviews before I do mines because, well, I kind of don't usually like to be influenced by other people's opinions before I kind of just start doing my own thing. But I caught a snip of his review and it, there was some stuff that he said that was pretty funny. And there was some stuff that he said that we are on the same point. And I don't generally like to skip around, but one of the things that he said that I gotta fully agree on, this dude actually said access denied. This was the whole Sam and Brit thing. This was after Brit and Sam was sitting there talking. After Brit and Jason was sitting there talking, which was a nice conversation. Got her to open up and stuff like that about her mother and how she was proud of her for being able to just kind of like stand on her own 2 feet and kind of handle herself. Now Sam and Danny are outside, and Danny can't wait to see his dad. So when he goes in to see his dad, and they're talking for a little bit, Britt and Sam kind of give them some space. Now, Sam is not there asking all sorts of questions, talking about, oh, well, like, isn't it kind of weird that you're the chief of staff and you're just kind of spending all this time with Jason? Like, what's going on? Like, are you keeping things professional and stuff like that? And honestly, tell you the truth, me and Brock was on the same page about that. I was like, I'm sorry, and that's your business because why again? Listen, I'm still never gonna get over the way she chose to go about breaking up with Jason. Because I'm not upset that she did it, but the way she went about it just last minute was like, are you kidding me? So they're going back and forth a little bit. I'm like, Sam, I can't with you. Now, when they're done, Sam goes back and she talks to Jason. And she starts asking a couple of questions like, oh, well, what's going on? Like, what's your plan or whatever? Like, you planning something? Like, what's going on? I'm like, and then she kind of like talks herself out of it, talking about, oh well, I made that decision when I separated from you, to protect my kids and whatever's going on. Because I think Jason was like, deniability is really important for you right now, and he's just like, yeah, you're right. I was like, yeah, he was right. Why did you even like asking those questions like what's going on? Like you still part of the team or something? No, you chose that, so kick rocks on that. Of course, she tried to cover it up, talking about, I still care about you, yada yada yada. I was like, yeah, okay, Sam, sure, whatever. Now another scene that was actually pretty funny, at least to me, was after Lizu came in, it was pretty much kind of warning, you know, Britt to kind of just like, yo, listen, excuse me, you kind of caught up in Jason's BS. Yo, we gotta go. Like, what country you want to go to, and how soon can we get there? But Britt is like, yo, listen, I'm fine. Like, I keep Smith like she had, it's like she pretty much had that same conversation with Jason. Like, yo, I'm good. I can handle myself. Um, and she's like, yo, I'm not going anywhere. I'm good, and it is what it is. She gets a knock on the door, and it's Scotty. Now Scott's outside, and she sees those two together, and she pretty much in this nonchalant way kind of asks like, "Yo, y'all two like y'all thing like y'all doing it or whatever? Like what's going on?" And of course, Ulbrich is like, "Yo, listen, we having fun. You should try some time. It will just lift all that stress off you, you know." So it's just making Brit hell of uncomfortable, and it was pretty entertaining to watch the whole time. Everything would there be no cute scene, everything like that. It was great. It was great. That might have been my second favorite part of this episode. Um, Now let's get to Ava and Cyrus. So Ava is sitting talk. At first, Ava's sitting talking to Nicholas, and Nicholas kind of at this point just wants reassurance that he kind of did the right thing, and for me personally, I'm divided on that. Okay, because not just the comment section that I've read, but just in general, you're pretty much kind of making a deal with the devil. you know? Like, yeah, you got protection for your aunt, but, well, how long is that going to last? And what else is he going to sit there and ask for? On the other end, here's the thing. When Nicholas is sitting there talking to Alexis, and Alexis is kind of like, well, let's be honest, she was like, why'd you sit there and do that? Like, why'd you make a deal with Cyrus? Like, I didn't ask you to do that. Like, how much of your soul did you give up for me? Nicholas is like, listen, I did it because I want to make sure that when I'm sleeping at night, I can be able to sleep knowing that you're going to be okay. Like, I know a lot of people did not like the choice that Nicholas made, and I can understand why. But I can also understand the fact that Nicholas did it because Alexis is like a second mother to him, and at the time maybe he just felt like he didn't have enough other options, or if he just would have said no, and let's say Alexis get like a broken arm or finger or something like that, you know, like how much is that going to sit there and weigh on him? So, he did the best choice that he can make at the present time. And I understand that. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree either. I'm kind of in the middle of it. They also talk about Spencer and how Spencer pretty much isn't coming to the wedding, and he's not talking or anything like that to him. I don't know what's going on with this whole Spencer thing. But as far as like the actor, like is he coming back? Is he not coming back? What's the story? Did they even switch actors? I'm not gonna lie. Um, I was not a fan of Spencer at all. I felt like he was incredibly annoying. And a lot of people tried to forgive it because it was like, oh, he's so cute and everything like that. And, he's privileged and he was brought up with money and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, that's true. And I get why he's acting the way he's acting. But I also don't have to like it either. So, there's that. Um, and plus, let's just be very clear. I was not a fan of the way they aged Spencer and Jocelyn. I wasn't. I understood they had to do it for reasons of storyline and all that other stuff. And I get that, well, pretty much none of the ages of the kids really match up when you really think about it. But I still just was not a fan of it. Every time that Jocelyn used to sit there and say, oh, my younger cousin, Spencer, I'm just like, that's so not true. But it is what it is. I don't know. Maybe the actor may come back and actually show up or whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, he's not about that life. He doesn't want no parts of Nicholas. And you know, Ava's not there blaming herself. Nicholas is not there blaming himself. And to be fair, it's kind of both of their fault. So it is what it is. To be fair, I think it's more of Nicholas' fault than it is of Ava's fault. But whatever. So after Nicholas leaves, Cyrus comes over. And Ava's like, listen, Nicholas did you that favor of getting your mother back. You protected his aunt, and y'all good, right? And pretty much Cyrus is like, yo, listen, yeah, nothing is really as simple with me, pretty much. Meaning that he's not done with Nicholas until he says he's done. Now he claims this because he wants to be with family, and family is important, and Nicholas is his nephew, and Laura's his sister, or whatever. So he's trying to play the whole family card. Now, at this point, Ava's like, yo, listen, he's not here, so we're done. And Cyrus is like, yeah, no, we're not done. So they're talking more, and here's the thing. When Cyrus picked up that picture of Avery, I was like, this? I can't even describe the emotion that I felt. But when he started talking about Avery, and it's like, oh, she's so cute or whatever, to Ava, the look on Ava's face, listen, even if you're not an Ava fan or whatever, like just as a parent, like that look, the way he was in there talking about Avery, it it gave me vibes. Like, are you serious? Like, you really gonna sit there and put Avery? Like, you really gonna sit there and talk about Avery? Like, something about the fact that he's using her name in his mouth. It's just unsettling. Yeah, it's unsettling. So after that, he puts it down. He's like, oh, she looks like her late father, or whatever, and he walks away. Ava looks angry at one point, and then looks terrified the next. So terrified that she actually went to Carly. Now, here's the thing, something's really bad when Ava has to run to Carly for any sort of assistance. You know it's bad. Now, Carly was sitting there talking to Laura, and the whole point of this conversation was to get Laura to play nice with Cyrus. And that they're saying, you're going to smooth out his better impulses. He wants to sit there and have a relationship with you. And, you just got to sit there and play nice for a couple hours. She was setting up something with Brick as far as, distraction to get Jason out of, the hospital. Now, Laura's sitting there like, oh, I don't know. And here's the thing. Laura was sitting there saying, listen, Cyrus is talking to me and he had no problem spilling my blood. So what makes you think that I'm going to be able to like curb anything or save or try to tone him down? Now, I like to sit there and think that, or the optimism in me will like to sit there and think that, Cyrus may kind of just curve it a little bit. And yes, I've read the comments and I know that Cyrus, whole motive is to use her because she's the mayor. Also, Cyrus will also think of her as a trophy, but whatever it takes at this point, whatever it takes, just play along. And before Laura had a chance to really sit there and say no, I can't do it or whatever, Ava comes in. Now, right off the bat, Carla's like, yeah, I'm not dealing with you today. But Ava really seemed like she was insistent. She actually told you the truth, she seemed like she was scared. Like, yo, we gotta talk. Like, whatever we got right that's going on right now, this is about Avery. So all that stuff between us, we could just push that to the side for a minute and kind of work whatever we need to work out. And yeah, Laura did sit there and try to practically warn Scott about, Obrick because of her daughter and just all the other stuff that Obrick did. But Scott's like, yeah, listen, we just having a good time. Let the good times roll. Let's just, just chill out. But yeah, she just kind of warned him, which um, I'm not gonna sit there and say it's none of her business, but she's trying to be a good friend, so whatever. Now, Jocelyn hurt her ankle because she wants to sit there and try to be Miss Captain America on the volleyball team, and so yeah, she wound up hurting her ankle. Goes to the hospital to see Portia. And Portia came back was like, listen, you nearly tore your ACL. Your season of soccer is done. It's done. Um, and so Jocelyn's crushed and she's all upset and she's like, she's talking to Trina, talking about how she needs to stand out and, I can't just get on my academics alone. I need to stand out. I need to do this. And she just seems like she's very insistent on trying to do this whole volleyball thing and just kind of just going at it. But somewhere along the line, she kind of changed her tune a little bit. Want to take a trip to Nixon Falls to pick up her dad. Now here's the thing that's a little kind of odd to me. Jocelyn's like, yeah, I talked to my dad and he can't make it. He can't come back on the plane or whatever because he hurt himself. And Trina was like, well, what happened? Like, how did he hurt himself? Like, is it serious and not serious? And Josh was like, no, I don't know, maybe. I didn't really ask those questions. I'm sitting there thinking, when my parents hurt themselves just a little bit, first of all, I'm going to freak out, okay? And after I finish freaking out, I'm gonna want to know what's going on. Is it bad? What happened? Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be questioning it for a good 20 minutes until somebody breaks. And that's not gonna be me. So I don't understand why she seemed like she was just so nonchalant. Like, yeah, he hurt himself. I don't know. Could it be a twisted ankle? Could it be a gunshot? I mean, who knows? Like really, Jocelyn, really? But yeah, she was like she wants to go to Nixon Falls, and she gets Trina to lie about because I guess they're gonna be going to. They said they're going to the volleyball tournament so she can support her team. Um, and Trina goes along with it, even though she's like she doesn't think it's a good idea to lie to Portia. But she's gonna wind up lying to Portia because it's gonna get Jocelyn out of her funky mood. So yeah. And yeah, this is something else. I was sitting there thinking about this in the beginning. When Britt walked into Jason's room, Britt was like, yo, listen, we got some time because Cyrus is going to be on a lunch conference or he's going to be away or doing something somewhere else, not in the hospital. So she's like, we got some breathing room. Now, at some point, when she goes into this other room, this conference room or whatever, and she sees the janitor, janitor's like, oh, it's all good, it's all clear. And towards the end of the episode, towards the end of the episode, this janitor's like, yo, calls up Cyrus like, yeah, it's just like you suspected. She's doing yada yada yada. I don't exactly remember what he said, but pretty much he was snitching. And again, not to really bring up his review, but like he was like the things that he was saying. I'm not gonna sit there and repeat it because I probably can't tell the story right, but it was hilarious. And that's I'm talking about Brock TV's review on that part. It was priceless. Now Cam was also there with Jocelyn, and when Portia told Jocelyn about Jason being upstairs, Cam was not too happy about it, and they seemed like they were about to get into another argument. And Jocelyn was like, "Oh, I thought we caught the truth." I'm just like, listen, I get why they have to call the truth, like really, because I don't know how they're actually gonna sit there and do their scenes, like not being together, like whatever. They kind of seem like they're stuck as a pair, and I get it for a lot of different reasons, but like just to kind of make things a little more even, they kind of quote the truth. But I'm just like, yeah, I get what your dad was. I get what Jax was there saying about how Jocelyn sit there and just kind of push aside with Jason and everything like that. But I'm like, yo, listen, one of my friends did something like that and was just like, I pretty much had to sit there and think of them. I had to sit there and think their way or the highway. Yeah, I'm taking a highway. I'm just not doing it. But towards the end of the episode, Cam goes upstairs to see Jason. So they're gonna have their talk, and I guess that should be something. I don't know. Something about whenever this actor gets like upset, it's just so weird because it's like I've never seen somebody get upset the way he gets upset, and it's just I don't know if this is just like him trying to pull an emotion that he doesn't really know how to like pull, or that's just generally how he gets upset. But either way, it just comes across as weird because I can't describe it, but it's just like I don't know. His head starts bobbing and everything like that. It's just very weird whenever he gets like really angry. But whatever. I'm gonna try not to be too hard on him because I know he's a child actor, and it is what it is with the child actors. No, screw that. Seriously. Screw that. Because to be honest, the kid who plays Danny, I feel like he's a better actor than Cam. I do. Hell, I even think that Jake is a better actor than Cam, so. But whatever. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't know what that is, but I feel like I'm forgetting something in this episode. But, whatever it is, please write down in the comment section below, and, because I just can't think of it. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for commenting because I always do sit there and read the comments and stuff like that, and it does always help me out. Plus, people say some really funny stuff in the comment section. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. I will see you in the next review.